What's up guys, and welcome back to another video. Today's video is all about this new League of Nations, or whatever it may be called, but World Rugby has announced that it's going to start from next year, 2021. It's going to create the World League or Rugby League, which means 12 teams, 6 nations rugby championship, as well as America and Japan are going to form into a league that will be played every year. The goal of this is to increase international rugby and to develop and all that stuff. Now, before we get into this topic, because it's been widely requested from you guys, I just want to say a massive thank you to each and every one of you. We have hit 11,000 subscribers. I cannot believe the growth of this channel, and I'm so grateful to each and every one of you for the support, for the encouragement, for the comments, for the following, whether you follow me on YouTube as well as my other social media platforms. I'm thoroughly enjoying it. The messages that I get from you guys on Instagram and Facebook about any topics you want to talk about or opinions you want to give, it's so awesome to engage with you. As I said, I said in the community that the comments have been hard to follow up with because of my new job or promotion. It's been a bit crazy, but I'm trying to work things out. But the main goal is to get out content for you guys. Why? Because I absolutely love doing it, and I'm so proud of where this channel has got, and especially to you guys for the support, whether you've been here for one day or whether you've been here for the journey. Some of you have been here since I had 100 subscribers, some have been here since I've had 600, but I'm truly grateful and thank you for supporting me on this journey. Now, to the topic. So, we're seeing a lot of things getting talked about here, because there are some positives, I suppose, and negatives. There's backlash from players, there's backlash from other countries and all that stuff, and not everyone seems to be on the same path. Now, World Rugby did express in a way that it was discussed with all countries and all that stuff and kind of approved and all that jazz, but listening to Johnny Sexton and Owen Farrell, they don't quite agree with this whole situation. Graham Henry said it's going to be the death of the Rugby World Cup, or it will like kill it and the kind of thing, if you know what I mean. It will die out. It's going to be the death of Pacific Island rugby and all these types of things that could cause a lot of travesty and havoc around world rugby. Now, I've got my opinion and I've got my suggestions as well, but another thing it's going to take away is the Lions Rugby Tour. Now, what World Rugby want to do is take away June internationals and November internationals and combine it into this league where they will play the games, and then the finals, if I'm not mistaken, will be played in November in the Northern Hemisphere. So it'll start up in the Southern Hemisphere and all that stuff. Again, nothing's quite been finalized. Some say it is, but at this stage there's still meetings being taken place. I think today was one to bring in the talk about the Pacific Island teams and all that jazz. So yeah, it's mixed emotions here. My opinion is I don't quite agree with it. I understand the reasoning for it, because people want to see more international rugby, and I think that is brilliant, because I want to see that. But what I would rather do is enhance the current tournaments we have. So the Rugby Championship, 6 nations, develop it and grow it, make it a little bigger, and then maybe take away the June internationals. So you increase 6 nations a bit, you increase the Rugby Championship by adding more teams, and allow development of rugby and not taking away opportunities, because I feel terrible for the Pacific Island teams, because Fiji is a developing nation, and I mean, crikey, we see what they do in sevens rugby. They are talented. You've got Tonga and Samoa, who are also very competitive. Yes, they're not the greatest of teams, but they are strong, and with more experience and more game time and all that stuff, they will grow and get better. Look at America. There's things happening here. About why? Because more opportunities of playing. And if you throw that away, I mean, that's just sad. And now there's talk of those countries maybe boycotting the World Cup, which is terrible, because we want them in the World Cup. We want to develop rugby across the board. So for me, maybe make 6 nations, 8 nations, and bring in 2 teams there. Rugby Championship, make it 6 nations, or also 8 nations. Increase the tournament, and then take away June internationals. So, one, we're reducing rugby. Yes, we're increasing it, but we are reducing it in a way, because June will be gone then. And then I think we could generate more excitement between the different nations, and increase rugby through these smaller countries, which we should be actually focusing on to develop the sport. So we can see teams like Georgia, Fiji, Samoa, USA, Japan, and all the other countries be more competitive in the sport, because that should be the ideal goal, not taking away opportunities. Now, World Rugby have stated that they'll do it on a merit basis or some crap like that, maybe relegation, where the Pacific Island teams have an opportunity to come back in and all that stuff. But that still doesn't solve the problem. We need to figure out a way to develop. Me personally, I've always said that the Rugby Championship should have Pacific Island teams, Samoa, Fiji, Tonga even. So we can grow that and make that the 6, 7, 8 nations. And Georgia can go join 6 nations. We could maybe put in Japan. But it talks of Japan and America are joining us. But I mean, America's north, so they should go also with the Northern Hemisphere teams, in my opinion. Again, this is just me thinking of ideas as we talk about this topic, but Graham Henry said it's going to be the death of the Rugby World Cup, and I think that's so true, because you're going to have this tournament yearly or every second year, whatever it may be. It's taking away that 4-year excitement, the build up to this World Cup. I mean, think of how much talk we are having for this World Cup, because we are all going to, it's excitement. It only happens once every 4 years, and so it's a build. You're going to take that away, and sales are going to drop, attendance is going to drop, because, oh well, it's not the World Cup, we've got the League of Nations that we can watch next time, or something like that. So it's these things that they need to really think of before they actually produce a platform or a game plan like this, because it's definitely going to hurt certain rugby nations. It's going to hit the market, and you don't want to overplay the sport. I mean, League of Nations is going to probably be so long. It's increasing the form of rugby, where we should be actually decreasing it a bit. Like for me, Super Rugby, as much as I love the sport, it is extremely long. We look at Pro 14, it is also extremely long. And other cups like this, we need to maybe reduce these a little bit, instead of building, because if you keep building Pro 14 to the Pro 16 or so, because there's talks of maybe some other South African teams coming in and all that jazz, we're just increasing the situation, because then the USA and Japan are going to need to join more leagues into Super Rugby. So we're just increasing things by going ahead with this. So I would digress a bit, and figure out how we can limit the amount of rugby that's being played. As much as I want to see rugby throughout the year, we need to think of players' health. We need to think of the welfare, because it could even be the death of international rugby. Not saying it will die down, but it will be affected. Why? Because the stars like Johnny Sexton, Owen Farrell, the Dwayne Vermeulen's, all these big guys are going to want to play more provincial level, because it's too much international rugby, and the club owners are paying more money, so they're going to go there. So we're going to lose so much attendance within the stadiums, because we can't see our stars play. So what are we going to do? No, well, they're going to boycott, so we're going to boycott. We'll watch them on the telly, we'll go watch provincial games, so that will increase. But that's not the whole goal here. We're trying to improve international rugby. So yeah, I agree with Graham Henry. I think it could definitely affect the Rugby World Cup. It's going to definitely hit the Pacific Islands, which I think is absolutely sad. It's going to increase injuries and all that jazz. So what I would do, decrease Super Rugby and all the other big long leagues that are going on for so many months, decrease it, bring it back to where it was. Pro 14, maybe Pro something like that. Not Pro 14, Super 14 kind of thing, so we can reduce. Same thing going with the Pro 14, make a Pro 10 or whatever it was, and then increase maybe the Rugby Championship to grow international rugby, so that could generate, because I want to see more international rugby, don't get me wrong, but I want to see it in a more competitive level instead of the odd friendly and all that stuff. And I would hate to see the Lions tour go away, because it's a tradition. Keep that going. Don't take away something that's so powerful and has so much history. Keep it going, especially because it's coming to South Africa, so don't take that away from me. I want to watch that. But anyway, so there's my thoughts on this, because it was widely requested from a lot of you. I don't agree with the world, or this League of Nations, or whatever it's called. I think it's going to affect a lot of the rugby players and the teams and the nations. Think of how to develop the sport through increasing what we have already, then scrapping these kind of things and going at it. You can increase it and take it on, and then November we have November internationals. Keep that going, because it's cool watching at the end of the year. Otherwise, people are going to get bored. And I'm excited. I love November internationals. I love even June internationals. But for me, the excitement is in November, when we go to different places. So increase what we have in the middle of the year. Increase Six Nations, increase Rugby Championship. And I think that will build sport in itself. But again, that's just my opinion. As a fan of the sport, I think that is a way to do it. But I don't quite agree with what World Rugby has done. As usual, let me know your thoughts and suggestions in the comment section down below. I'll be very curious to read your opinions on this, because I think it's going to be 50-50. I think we're going to have people who agree with this League of Nations, and I think we're going to have quite a few people who disagree with this. So we need to come up with a whole plan of how we're going to work this. But what do you think of my suggestion? Increase the championship, increase Six Nations, or leave it the way it is, scrap this whole World League, continue with Junior Internationals, continue with November, or should we do the World League? Let me know your thoughts in the comment section down below. Wherever you're from, I'm very curious to hear this, because it might favour some rather than others. But yeah, let me know your thoughts. And if you're new here and haven't yet subscribed yet, hit the subscribe button, turn on the bell notifications so you don't miss out on another video. And also make sure to give this video a like if you enjoyed it or agreed with my topic. Give it a like, and I'll see you guys real soon for another video. Six Nations is back, so don't go anywhere, as well as some exciting Super Rugby games coming up this weekend. Thanks so much, and never give up. Cheers.